WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here, often trying, tasting, and reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Not really sure how rare this one is either. This is the 15-year-old Teeling whiskey from the Explorer series, the Japanese edition, 46%. And it was matured for 11 years in ex-Bourbon casks, and then for further 4 years in, I'm going to get this wrong with my pronunciation, I'm sure, Mugi Shochu Casks. So you're probably asking yourself, like I asked myself, what is Mugi Shochu? Now, Shochu is the drink they drink in Japan more than they drink sake. That rice wine we know from sake, but the internal drink that they drink is then Shochu. I've had a few Shochus in my life. I'm not even sure if I've ever had a Mugi Shochu, because Mugi means barley. So it's Shochu made from barley. Now, Casktype Planet actually has a wonderful documentation on how they make Shochu. He actually did a week where they made that, and they had to do their own thing. According to the website here from Teeling, it says Shochu is a hidden gem of Japanese spirits and is consumed more than sake domestically. Japanese Shochu is crafted from mugi, the Japanese word for barley. It is fermented using the traditional koji fermentation process before it's diluted in a distilled in a pot still. It is then matured in traditional, it says here Japanese oak casks. I'm not sure if it's Japanese oak or not. It's not our Mitsunara that we love and like, I think. All right, so the result is a distinct light yet exotic fruity spirit unique to Japan. Look at this color, 15 years old. I was like, this is like white wine. I've had white wines that are darker than this, all right? So, and I must commend Teeling on pulling out a 15-year-old product. In Ireland, it's 110 euros. In Germany, it's 90. It's 88.90, all right? So it's 20 euros less over here. Yes, it has to deal with the fact that our VAT, value-added tax, is different, has to deal with our alcohol tax, excise tax is different, but it also has to deal with the fact that the margins for, I'm learning this now more and more, the margins for the German retailers are less than in Scotland and Ireland. So Scotland and Ireland, Celtic Whiskey Shop and so on, and the others, Irish Malts and so on, often 40 to 50% markup just for the retailer. In Germany, it's often only 30%, sometimes even less. And this is a problem we're having at the moment in Germany, is that a lot of the smaller retailers are closing shop. They just say, I can't compete. I really, really can't compete with everyone's online that is going, I don't even need the 30%. I can do 20%. And they'll just have their shop online. They'll have a garage and a little warehouse, and they'll just have one or two people packaging things, sending it out, and having no real rent for a showroom or have real employees. And they'll just actually go through the whiskeys fairly quickly, and anything that doesn't move, they'll discount again and get rid of it and then buy some new products. And a traditional whiskey shop, I was just talking with someone at the whiskey fair this weekend. He says, Jason, I have over 800 open bottles. Every single bottle I take in the shop, I buy 6 from the wholesaler, from the importer, and 1 I open so that everyone can try it before they buy it. Online shops, no, that's an additional cost that's just not doable there. And that's one of the things in Ireland, is that the prices there are higher because of the taxes, because of the duty, and because of the margin of the shops. So that's one of the reasons why we're much cheaper over here. So I think the price is okay. At first I was like, oh wow, 90 euros, 110 euros, that's a lot. But it's a 15-year-old whiskey. It's not single malt. Do you see the word single malt anywhere here? No. Do you see the word natural color anywhere here? No. Please put it on the label. Please put non-chilled, filtered, and natural color if it is. All right, Teeling, I would like that. Everything else you did with this whiskey is great. The label could still use a tiny little bit of a tweak there, all right? So it's 46%. It's very, very, very exactly what we want, basically, all right? So I'm going to try this. I have a comparison, and it's off. So the comparison that I have, I did this in my German video as well, is the TWCo 14-year-old. All right, this is only 41.3% ABV, but it is a 14-year-old product. And the astounding fact is I can still get this for 40 euros. So I can get more than 2 of these for 1 of these. Now, yes, this is a potpourri. This is a fruit cocktail. We have our port, we have our Madeira, we have our sherry, we have our bourbon in this. This actually says in the back, mit Zuckercolor. This has coloring added to it. This does not, according to the website, and according to the website, this is 14, this is 15 years of age. Look at that difference, all right? You can see that immediately, the color difference there. Now, I should be comparing this to, and hold your horses, let me explain, Hibiki Harmony. The very first time I smelled this and tasted this, I was like, wait, that's delicate, that's fragile, that's soft, that is, oh, wait a second, I know, that's like Hibiki Harmony. And I was just, wow, I don't have any Hibiki Harmony here. I haven't had Hibiki Harmony for the last 4 years, basically, because the price of a Hibiki Harmony, which is a no-age product, has a beautiful bottle, it's 80 euros. What do I pay for this? 80 euros. So I should be comparing the Hibiki Harmony to that. But I decided to go here because I was here anyways. All right, so I thought Irish, let's go for something that has fruitiness and so on. Now, according to the Teeling website here, I should on the nose get certain things. Let's see if I get them. Now, this is a nose that does not pop out. This is a nose you need to spend a little bit of time with. You need to get to know it. It's a little shy. All right, so I get on the nose pears. I get vanilla. I get a tiny little bit of sandalwood. And I get a little bit of a fruitiness. I would have went towards the white cranberries without the tartness. Now they say, did I say the word sandalwood? I think I did. They say candied apples. They say lychee. They say jasmine tea. Mellow vanilla sweetness, fruit pastries, and a spice. And it's like, yeah, a Danish pastry with vanilla pudding. That's what I'm getting a little bit. I really enjoy this. This is very, very good. And the more you spend time with it, the more you block out everything else, the more you will actually discover, at least I do, I think I discover more of the depth and complexity that's in here. Just like Japanese whiskey, often it's not in your face, but it has a certain very complex, silky depth to it. Now, Octomore will slap you around, Jack Stagg Jr. will slap you around. This does not. This silky niceness, complex, wonderful, wonderful. I was not expecting that. Teeling, you did a great job in that combination. I would love that more. Now, the Explorer series so far has been travel retail. It was their Brazilian Amberana. Amberana and me are not the best of friends, but even there, I remember they did, it was almost okay. I've had some other Amberanas that just have blown out my palate. So, Amberana is a very difficult wood to work with, in my opinion. But here, they actually had the option, the ability, and the guts to leave this in there for 4 years. So, and a bottle of this color. I mean, hey. Now, if I go over here real quick, this pops out at you. I mean, I get the Madeira, I get the port, I get the sherry. This is a fruit bomb. I like, for 40 euros. I mean, it's a single malt with a fruit bomb moment. This is absolutely great. This double the price. More than double the price, but still. This is good. Let's try it. Cheers. The very, very interesting thing is the 46% is almost here perfect. Sometimes people pick 40% because you don't have to chill filter and it doesn't actually get cloudy. But this 46% is absolutely where I would want it. There's a little bit of alcohol, but there's a lot of flavor. It's not a wooden mallet type of flavor. It's a flavor of delicate, fragrant, floral. I get a little bit of honey in there. This is a pear. I get more pear than any candy apples I get. This is a this is a B whiskey for me. I'm so pleasantly surprised. I really like it. I read the label. It's like, oh, it's Irish whiskey. It's not single malt. Okay, it's a combination of made out of corn and made out of barley. It could be in column still and on the pot still. I was a little disappointed when I first read it, just like the small batch. Now, the small batch is not bad, but I'm not paying 90 euros for a small batch whiskey from Teeling. Here, I'm paying 90 euros. It has a 15-year-old price tag, but it was like, okay, I'm not sure. And I get the grain as well. I like a good grain. I like an old grain, and I get that grain moment going in there. The official tasting notes from Teeling say a burst of lychee. I like lychee, but I don't get the lychee that much. Passion fruit, maybe. Poached pears, yes. Gingerbread cookies. Golden syrup. Yeah, it said my honey. It wasn't like, it's not a maple syrup. It's not a corn syrup. It's more of a honey corn syrup type. Yeah, it's called golden syrup. All right. And then also the finish. It's a long-lasting finish. It's it's a delicate finish, but it's a finish that lasts and lasts and lasts. So a sweet, mellow finish with soft wood tannins. I don't get much of that at all. Dried fruits and a refreshing, crisp aftertaste. I like. I like the fact that they used a barley distillate in Japan, Shoshu, the Mugi Shochu, and that they actually had those casks, had this liquid in there for 4 years, total 15. I'm going to stick with my B. Value for money, I'm going to go for a solid C. So A is why haven't we bought it? I don't ever give that for the value for money. B, buy it. I hardly ever give that. A C is definitely, hey, if you want to, go buy it. This is actually that's a recommendation in my book. D, don't need it. F, why was the stuff even made? So this is a B on taste, buy it, and it's a C for value for money. Not everyone's going to run out and say, oh, I'm going to go spend 90 or euros or 110 euros in Ireland and go buy a 15-year-old Teeling Irish whiskey, not single malt. But if you can, try it before you buy it. And if you do try it, I think you're going to buy it. I think you're going to like it. Especially if you like those nice, delicate, soft, floral type of moments that go on in there. That's very, very good. I'm just going to read very briefly the tasting notes here of the Suntory Hibiki Harmony. So on the nose, we have fruity notes of lychee with a little bit of rosemary and sandalwood. Sweet and fruity with candied orange peel, a little bit of white chocolate and honey, and the finish is long, soft, with notes of Japanese oak. And that's what I'm getting here. It's almost like they're almost. I would love to have the Hibiki here, the Harmony, and actually interchange them and say, hey, I could buy Japanese whiskey or I could buy, and I think this is what Teeling was trying to do, and I think they actually encapsulated the feeling of Japanese whiskey in their Irish whiskey. Well done, well done. I do not praise Teeling often, but this time I must admit I think they did a fantastic job. All right, B in taste, C in value for money. The Talamodu is different. There's a burst of flavor. The Madeira is so evident. It's wow. You have a little bit of port and the sherry together. You have the bourbon, and I have a little bit of that artificial coloring, that caramel in there, I think. But this is so much louder. If we were doing the volume dial, this is going to be a 7 to 8. This is going to be a 3 to 4, maybe a 4 to 5, but more of a 4. You have to have a little bit of an ear for this. You have to have a little bit of a moment of of just quietness to really reflect and to really enjoy this whiskey for all it's worth. But I must admit, even if I go back, this whiskey retains all of its body and character. And the mouthfeel. This was watery. This was chill filtered. This just coats your palate and gives you the feeling of being pampered. Jason being pampered with a Japanese edition of Teeling 15-year-old Explorer series. Thank you very much for watching, liking. First question is, do you know any other whiskeys, it could be Irish or anything else in my opinion, that have actually used the Mugi Shochu casks? And if not, what is your favorite Japanese whiskey? So 2 things you can answer down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and telling others. See you real soon. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.